What's going on, Steve Chargers? It is Coach Hawkins, and I am back for video number 2 of Physical Education with Coach. Today, we have 3 new things that we're going to do. We will still be working on our flexibility, so we'll start out with a new stretching routine. I'm going to show some different body parts that we can stretch. We're going to do another workout with TABATA. I've included some new exercises in that. And then our activity for the week is called PICKLE. So after we went through our flexibility, after we went through our TABATA, then we will get into our activity for this week, which is called PICKLE. So welcome back, get ready to work. All right, guys. So video number 2, we have some new, again, stretches that I want to incorporate. Of course, we did toe touches last week. This week we added the crossbody shoulder stretch, some tricep stretches, and then some butterflies, of course. And then with the Tabata, same concept, 4 or 5 exercises, 30 seconds for each one, rest for 10, and you want to work through all of those exercises before you take your minute break. So next, we will get into our activity for the week, and it is called PICKLE. All right, guys, so as I said, our activity for this week is called PICKLE. So the first thing that I want to do is kind of give you some basic instructions on how this game is played, and then once I give you those basic instructions, then we will actually do a model demonstration for you guys, so you have an idea of exactly what you'll be doing as you play this game called PICKLE. All right, so what do you need? Things that you need, of course, you're going to need some space. Doesn't have to be a whole lot, but just enough space for you guys to get out there and get to moving around. So you're going to need space. You are going to need a ball. Okay, need a ball. You're going to need a base. Okay, you'll need 1 ball, 2 bases. I'm only showing 1 base. The other one is already set up, but you'll need space. You'll need 1 ball. You'll need 2 bases. Coach Hawkins, I don't have that type of ball. Coach Hawkins, I don't have a base. I just took a piece of paper, balled it up. Okay, now I got a small ball, pair of socks, bundled them up, made a ball. Small little weight ball that's actually used for batting practice, but for this case, it's soft, okay, not that heavy, so we can use this as well. I would not suggest that you use hard objects like baseballs, softballs, golf balls, or rocks, okay? We don't want to use anything hard, but anything that is small, anything that is soft, or anything that we can manipulate into a ball will work, okay? Coach Hawkins, I don't have the type of base that you have, all right? Old piece of foil that I found in my backyard, flattened it out. That's one. Old lid to a bucket, that could be a base. Old scratcher that I found in my backyard, that could be a base, okay? So don't necessarily have to have a basketball or an actual ball, but anything that you can manipulate into a ball, and then any object that you can use to mark your spots as bases. With your bases, you're gonna wanna set those apart about 15 paces. So what we did was we just sit down 1 base, and then we just took 15 steps from that base, and wherever we ended, we dropped that base, okay? So you're gonna wanna mark your bases about 15 paces apart. Mr. Hawkins, I don't have enough room to do 15 paces. Do 5 paces, do 10 paces, okay? Whatever your space is, okay, you can make the adjustment on those paces. It does not have to be 15, okay? You just look at the amount of space that you have, and then you just kind of make your judgment as far as how many paces that you want to use. Again, maybe 5, maybe 10, maybe 15, just depends on the amount of space that you have, okay? Basically what the object of this game is, it is terminology that if you are a softball or a baseball player, you've heard the whole term or phrase that they're caught in a pickle. Okay, so what's gonna happen is when we start, we're gonna have 2 base players that are gonna start out on their bases. One of those base players is gonna start with the ball that you guys are using. Then we're gonna have a base runner. So that person is going to start in the middle. When I signal them to start, the base runner basically is going to try to get to that base without being tagged by one of the base players. Base players, you are going to use throwing and running in an effort to tag that base runner before they make it to the base, okay? So in a pickle, we have 2 base players that start off on the bases. One will have the ball, base runner starts in the middle. When the game is signaled to start, the objective is for the base runner to get to one of the bases without being tagged. Base players, you are trying to tag that base runner by running and throwing your object that you're using as a ball. All right, let's get started. All right, Chargers, that is the activity called Pickle. A couple of modifications that you can make for that game. You can increase or you can decrease the distance of those bases. Remember, we said 15 paces, but if that 15 is like, whoo, you know, this is a little bit too much, knock it down to 10. You know, if that 10 works, stay with 10, and then you can build up from there. So you can increase or you can decrease the distance of those bases at your leisure. You can add time. Again, you know, the objective was base runners. You're trying to continue moving until you can reach a base without getting tagged. Base players, you're trying to throw and run in your attempt to tag that base runner, but you can take the whole tagging aspect out. And instead of you tagging, then if I'm the base runner and I'm a base player, or whatever the case may be, then really the objective really goes from tagging to a time thing. So now, instead of me trying to tag you, we're just going to say 30 seconds. We're going to say 45 seconds, or we're going to say for a minute. So what that means is that for that 30 seconds, that 45, or for that minute, then basically what you're doing is everybody is actively moving until that time is up. Okay, we're not trying to tag. We're not trying to tag that base runner. Base runner, you're not really trying to get to that base. We're just focused on staying moving for whatever that time is that we choose. Coach, what if it's only two of us? We don't have three people, so it's going to be hard for us to try to play chase and tag. Don't even worry about the chase or the tag. Set time, and let's see how many times I can touch each base in 30 seconds, in 45 seconds. And whoever can touch the most bases, or whoever can touch the most within that time frame, then that's who we would decide would be the winner. So if it's just you, same thing. Don't worry about the actual tagging aspect of it. Just focus more so on setting a time of 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute. And in that time, the goal is just to see how many times can I touch this base before my time runs out. Benefits that we get from this game. Some of the benefits that we saw is the development and the improvement of your physical skills, such as our agility, our coordination, our balance, and that ability to pivot and change direction while our bodies are in motion. So, and that last benefit, again, I've said it before, but I'll just close with it. That activity, a benefit of it is just that it gets us outside, it gets us active, and it gives us something fun to do. Another break in just the monotony that can take place right now. The monotony that comes along with being on my phone all day long and searching every social media platform there is, playing video games all day, just sitting and watching TV. While those things are going to take place, again, this is just something that we can do to take a break from that. Again, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope that it is, hopefully you guys can take something, again, that you can just kind of incorporate to what you're already doing. Or hopefully it's just something that, hey, I never knew that we could do those things, or I didn't know that those type of workouts existed. So hopefully these videos are helping you guys. Well, have a nice evening. All right, take it easy.